What is up, my friends? It is Friday and you are very welcome along to today's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. This is normally the part of the video where I tell you your weekend starts here, but it doesn't, because we know it starts at 7 o'clock tonight, where you can join us for the watch-along of the Reds FA Cup tie against Wolves. They may have beaten us on Tuesday, but we have a chance for immediate redemption and to book our place in the next round of the only domestic cup competition we're still in. So, ladies and gentlemen, over the course of this video, we're going to be telling you the one and only man that FSG want to succeed Arne Slot. We're going to be giving you some insights on where Elliot Anderson is likely to go. A little bit of talk about Jurgen Klopp as a move to La Liga is apparently on the cards. That and lots more, including some quotes from Joel Ordonez, coming up over the next few minutes. Now, as I have mentioned, we will be live tonight from 7 o'clock, so do make sure to come and join us for that. But until then, let's get cracking with the news. So, Team Talk have basically said what we said to you guys a couple of days ago, and this story is going to grow. And again, you can come back and say, do you know what, Craig? You were actually right about that. So this piece here said Arne Slot's position as Liverpool boss is set to come under significant scrutiny at the end of the season, with former Real Madrid coach Xabi Alonso the only manager the club's owners want to succeed the Dutchman, having enjoyed a dream campaign as Liverpool manager, guiding the squad to a dominant Premier League title. However, Arne Slot's time with the club has taken a little bit of, well, shall we say, a fall over recent times. Their attempt to defend the crown faltered, writes Team Talk, after spending almost £450 million. Now, we all know how much that annoys Arne when we talk about spending £450 million. So I'm just going to say, we spend £450 million, Arne. What's the story? So look, ladies and gents, this basically backs up what we were saying to you guys yesterday, which was our information around the situation. We're going to have to see out the season with Arne as things stand. But if Liverpool were to make an earlier than planned exit in the Champions League, if we were to go out of the FA Cup, who knows? But it looks like it will be Xabi Alonso, and it looks like it will be in the summer. So, let's move on to Club Brugge defender Joel Ordonez. He's a centre-back that the Reds have been linked with previously. Somebody who I remember reading scouting reports on saying he isn't quite ready yet for a move to a top club, but has huge undoubted talent. Now, he came through Independiente del Valle, the club that brought you the likes of Moise Caicedo, William Pacho, and some really other top talent coming out of that part of the world. And Joel Ordonez is another one of those off that conveyor belt. So speaking about links previously to Liverpool, this is what Joel Ordonez had to say. I hope so. It would be great if I could go to the Premier League. That's my favourite league, which given my size should suit me well. As a child, I was also a big Liverpool fan. And when he was asked if he plans to move this summer after the World Cup, he said, that is the intention. Yes, I will move to a big team afterwards. Now, talking about big news stories, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there was a bit of an expose done on Fabrizio Romano by Sporting Intel. You'll probably see it floating around X. We'll make sure to share it in the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp as well. It is a Patreon article that basically, excuse me, it isn't a Patreon article, my apologies. It's an article that basically goes through exactly what is wrong with Fabrizio Romano in this football content world and why he is more of a problem than he is a help. So we'll make sure to post a link to that in the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp where you can have a read of it. It is definitely worth your time. It only takes 5-6 minutes to read the piece, but it gives you a good understanding of why I and many others are frustrated with the work Romano does. So, Joshua Abde is now liking posts linking him with staying at Liverpool Football Club and talking about the talent and the depth of young wingers that we have. Fingers crossed this is good news for the Reds, because Joshua Abde is a huge talent and one that we hope does stay at the club. He's already training with the first team, but the club are yet to get him to commit to scholarship papers, which he could sign at 16 years of age, so this summer. We'll keep you up to date on the very latest with that, but fingers crossed the Reds can convince Joshua Abde to stay. So Jurgen Klopp, let's talk a little bit here. El Chingarito TV has said Jurgen Klopp is reportedly in advanced talks to succeed Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid. Despite his current role with Red Bull, Spanish reports suggest Jurgen Klopp is negotiating with Atletico's majority owners to take over this summer. Now, I've always said to you guys, if he moved over to La Liga, it wouldn't be to a Barcelona, it wouldn't be to a Real Madrid. The club that I've always told you he was most likely to go to was Atletico Madrid. Now, I'm not saying that this is a done deal or it's going to happen, but it definitely seems more realistic to me that he would go and have a look at Atleti over Real Madrid. It just isn't Jurgen's type of club. Atleti very much in the mould of the type of club Jurgen goes for. Think about it, Liverpool kind of underdogs at the time, but with a big reputation, a big history. Borussia Dortmund, similar thing, underdogs there against Bayern Munich. Atleti, same type of situation. A club renowned for being a fighting club, standing up, being difficult to beat, a very good fan base. So it makes sense to me. So let's move on to Michael Carrick. This piece here from Transfer News Live said that despite Manchester United's defeat to Newcastle, Michael Carrick remains heavy favourite to become the club's next permanent boss, according to the bookies. They have him as a 62% favourite to, well, succeed himself there because he is the interim manager at the minute. I really don't know what the best thing for United to do here is. I'm not going to sit here and say I've followed every minute of every one of Carrick's games. I've seen the results, obviously. We know that he's got them playing better football than they did under Ruben Amorim. We know that they're safely tucked into the Champions League spots in third place, so wouldn't be a surprise to me. I know there would be comparisons made to what happened with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and like I said, I don't know the best path forward for Manchester United. All I can hope for as a Liverpool fan is that whatever it is, it ends up in absolute shambles and we can all sit back and laugh about it. But unfortunately, I fear they may be on the path to somewhat of redemption for the next couple of seasons. Now, I want to move on to a player who'd been linked with Liverpool, who'd been linked with Manchester United, but is now apparently on his way elsewhere. This report from Team Talk suggests that Manchester City's move to sign Nottingham Forest and England star Elliot Anderson is being described to them as a done deal. Manchester United are long-term admirers of the midfielder and are set to miss out. Now, this is no surprise to me. I've told you guys that my understanding was that that is his most likely destination. But what I don't understand is, and again, excuse me if I'm being naive, I don't understand how any representatives of any of these players could be suggesting to them to go to Manchester City. Same for Mark Gay, same for Antoine Semenyo. I just don't understand, with those charges still hanging over their heads and the possibility of relegation, points deductions and lots more, how they could, with a clear conscience, advise their clients to move there. Now, there could be clauses in there talking about relegation or releasing them from these contracts if the charges are proven. Maybe they know something we don't about these charges. But ultimately, it's just a weird one for me. I can understand it if he thinks the Manchester City have gotten away with everything and he can go in there and be a successor to Rodri. I totally do understand it. But I can just give you my take of this. If I was a sporting director, I wouldn't be even conducting business with Manchester City at the minute because of these things. And that's genuinely how strongly I feel about it. I think they should be a social pariah in the Premier League until these charges are, well, proven, and then hopefully we can all start to label them exactly what we think that they are. So look, for me, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for now. Let me know your thoughts on Elliot Anderson. Who do you think the Reds should look to? Adam Wharton, of course, the name we've been linked with. Angelo Stiller, another name the Reds have been linked with. We do need to bring in a DM this summer. It is one of the priority positions for me. Remember though, 7 o'clock tonight, we'll be here for the Wolves FA Cup game. It has to be decided tonight, so if we have extra time and penalties, we'll take you all the way through it. There is VAR involved in tonight's game as well, so don't forget about that one. And also, shout out for our giveaway, a signed Kenny Dalglish frame shirt, completely free. Scan the QR code below or use the link in the description for further details on how to enter, and we'll be announcing the winner of that at the end of the month, as well as our next competition, which we'll have coming up in April. You can treat yourself to 20% off at thecollectorscorner.co.uk by using our code Anfield Agenda 1 at checkout. So, we covered a lot in this video, ladies and gentlemen. We want to know your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp potentially moving to Atletico Madrid, Elliot Anderson making that move to Manchester City according to Team Talk. Want to know what you think about the idea of Joel Ordonez potentially becoming a Liverpool player after the World Cup. And of course, I want to know your thoughts on Xabi Alonso as he looks set to be the man to succeed Arne Slot in the summer as Liverpool's new head coach. Do you think he's the right man? Do you think it is a case of, well, he's the only one that's available that they feel comfortable with? Or do you think we may see a little twist to come here on it? For me, I do think the direction of traffic is headed towards Xabi Alonso becoming the next Reds head coach. And I'm not going to lie, it excites me because Arne's sapping the enjoyment out of it all. So ladies and gents, we'll see you tonight. Appreciate your time as always. Much love, but don't worry, your weekend will officially start at 7 p.m. We'll talk then. Bye-bye.